All right, our next presenter, Mr. Alex Thomas, is a native of Lafayette, Louisiana. He attended the Southern University in Baton Rouge, majoring in instrumental music education. While there, he became a member of Southern University's band, trombone section leader, a fall 2002 member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, a spring 2003 member of Kappa Kappa Psi National Band Fraternity. After completing his undergrad degree, Mr. Thomas took a job at Northwest High School as director of bands. During his time there, Mr. Thomas brought the first marching band first place trophy in school's history, the first concert ensemble to compete in LMEA concert assessment, and a superior rating in sight reading. Despite all of the accomplishments, Mr. Thomas always wanted to return home to his alma mater, and in the summer of 2010, he would get that chance. Mr. Thomas started his journey at Northside High School in the summer of 2010 with only 20 band members. Since then, Mr. Thomas has grown the band to over 100 band members. He's developed 2 separate concert ensembles, qualifying several times for the LMEA State Concert Assessment in over a decade, and received over 15 first place trophies in marching band. Mr. Thomas is the 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2015 Lafayette Educational Foundation Penn honoree. He's a finalist in the 2011 and 12 LEF Inspirational category, 2016 Boy Scouts of America and 100 Black Men Father of the Year honoree, 2017 African American Heritage Foundation Parade honoree, 2017-18 NHS Renaissance Teacher of the Year. For 2018-19, he's also Teacher of the Year this year, and the 2019-2020 Lafayette Parish School System High School Teacher of the Year. So a lot of accomplishments. Without further ado, Mr. Alex Thomas.
Thank y'all, man. I'm very honored and pleased to be here and present to you all. My topic that I'm going to talk about today is compete for what? The benefits of competing across all spectrums. I kind of want to hit on some things, so I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way right now. If I offend anybody, if I step on anybody's toes, I apologize. It's not my intent, okay? But I just feel that we need to talk about certain things and kind of go through certain things. So the first thing I want to do is getting it out of the way. Okay, so certainly I want to kind of go ahead and get out of the way while we're at it, say run something else, okay? So, first thing first, a lot of people feel like this, it's a philosophy. First place is the only place. Second place is the first loser. I only want first place trophy, so if it's second place or below, don't put that in my barrel. And if we lose, don't say nothing. Get on the bus, don't talk. You can't speak, say a word, okay? Also with that, we all know these things are true. They cheated us. They don't like our style band. His band said, how can they judge mine? And I'm not subjecting my kids to that kind of school. Okay? Now, I will say this real quick to get off the call. If it's 5 bands at a competition, all 4 bands can't get cheated. Okay? Somebody just lost. Does that make sense? So if all other 4 bands can't leave the competition and say, we all got cheated. They all didn't like us, okay? Somebody had to actually take a loss, right? But there's a reason why I'm talking about this, and that goes into the next one right here. So who got smashed? The reason why I chose this is for a reason, okay? Not because of the director that's here, but it's for a reason. You got Southern University, you got Jackson State, 2 phenomenal programs. They both are juggernauts in the band world, period. I don't care what you're talking about, they're juggernauts. You will never see those 2 bands go at it, and both bands not at their best. And for some people, they don't go to the competition, they don't go to the battle of the bands, they don't go to the game, and they already say Southern got smashed. They already say Jackson State got smashed. Public perception has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Your opinion of what you think a band has, that's not what we're talking about. I'm not talking about what you feel, what the belief is, and all of that kind of stuff right there. Because at the end of the day, both programs are phenomenal. And people love this kind of controversy because they think that is what is actually going on. See, they don't see this. They see the war between the 2 bands, right? And that's where I'm going to actually go and really get into my program no idea what's going on below. They have no idea what's actually happening with it. And there's a reason for competition. There's a reason that we compete. So let's go ahead and get into it. We do it for them, not us. And we're talking about the kids, right? So in my band program, and I'm gonna speak a lot of things from what I do, what I've always done. Mr. Jackson, one of my mentors, and Mr. Knighton, God rest his soul. They always tell me about being true to who you are. And so I tell my kids, I live by this motto. We control the product, not the result. I'm gonna give you my best. And when I come off the bus, when I come here, you got the best that I have to offer, right? So I can't control what the judge is gonna do. I can't control what they're gonna look at. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm giving my best. My kids are giving my best, which is their best, to actually compete, right? I live by 3 principles in my band program: drive, push it, grind. So I use those 3 to kind of go into 3 separate things, okay? The first thing, take a nap. Alright, so a lesson from John Henry, right? It's not what they believe they can do, rather what you make them believe they can do. The whole story behind John Henry is the whole steel driving, and he had to compete, right? He had to reach his full potential, and he had to compete about drilling, and he had competed against an actual steam engine to prove that man can actually compete. Does that make sense? Had he not had the competition, you can't prove it, right? It's just like a track run. You can put on the clock all day long, like Mr. Russell had. You can put them on the clock all day long. If they can't actually physically see the competition, right, then they may not push as hard. Imagine seeing somebody getting chased by a dog in a neighborhood. You see some real speed when an animal coming after you, right? But if there's no animal coming after you, you may not see that actual full speed that they just gave, okay? The next thing. Why compete? Now, there are some different opinions about why compete. We shouldn't compete. I'm not going to competition and all of that kind of stuff. That's not what my program, that's not what I believe, that's not my philosophy. Well, there's a reason why we should compete, okay? Number 1, it builds character, okay? That's very important. Our job is to teach the kids beyond the musical aspects, beyond the art of what we do, okay? The other side, it builds teamwork. If I'm trying to win, if I'm trying to compete, and I'm trying to get these superior ratings, right? And this young man or this young lady is not performing to the best of their abilities, then let me go get in this sectional and work with you. Let me help you out, help you develop your musicianship, because we trying to win. And we all know the philosophy, or rather the phrase, we're only as strong as our weakest link. And we as directors can do everything across the board. We can tell the kids, this is how you do it, and then the kids will go in a room where the kids say, oh, he showed me how to do it. He said it's be natural. And you're like, I said that 45 minutes ago, right? It forces uncomfort. These kids have to understand that you're going to be uncomfortable in some ways. So when you're going to a competition, they start getting nervous, you know? You have to make them understand you're gonna be uncomfortable, but it's okay, right? Honestly, I'm very nervous being here. Every time I present, I'm always freaking out, I'm nervous, right? But I wanna present, I wanna be the best that I can, because I wanna help people just like I want people to help me, okay? So you have to help them understand that you're gonna be uncomfortable, and competition makes you uncomfortable, okay? It inspires growth, because when they actually achieve the goal they're achieving, then they want to do it again. They want to be better later. They want to continue going. They want to get that taste of that first place trophy, they want another one. And they understand that it's going to be harder the next time. Develops passion. It helps the kids understand about being passionate about things, because when you're competing, let's just be honest, when you get the results, the one that you want, it makes you get more excited. And creates a strong work ethic. You all understand that? But my last one that I want to get into is teach them how to win and lose. There are some times that we have to teach our kids beyond the spectrum. When you win, you want to be a gracious winner. When you lose, you need to teach them how to be a gracious loser. I'm going to give a personal situation. My son played basketball. He lost his first basketball game. As he's walking by the team, shaking hands, the kid in front of him on the other team, shaking hands, say, loser, 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 to every one of the kids on our team. The basketball coach heard them say it and smiled, because he wants to win. I walked up to him. I said, excuse me, sir. I said, Your first player walked around and called out a whole team of losers. Now mind you, I wasn't a coach, I was a parent. The coach did, I'm gonna talk to him. I didn't even know that the kid's father was standing right behind me. The kid's dad said, you said what? Go apologize to every single last one of them. And then told the coach, my child's not playing for your team anymore. Because he knows the benefits of those kinds of things, right? You gotta teach them how to be gracious winners, but also gracious losers. Because when we walk by the kids, all the kids on the basketball team were crying. They lost by one shot. One basket. They were crying, but they played their hearts out. And we have to teach them to build them up so they can actually accept those losses, go back, work, and get better, as well as teach them to be gracious winners. And that's what competing does. If you don't actually feel the loss or feel the win, going back to public perception, because let's call it what it is. To some people in some programs, you're the best one in your city, and it doesn't matter what anybody says. You're number one, even if you're not. You can walk around with your chest out because everybody in your circle told you the man. And guess what? You not. But as long as you ain't got no losses on your belt, guess what? You can still go ahead and say you ain't got. I ain't lost yet, right? Because you didn't compete against nobody. All right, let's keep going. Next one, where are the tangible value to compete? So we all want to, I can talk about all that philosophizing and all of that kind of stuff. But where are the actual tangible value? Well, number one, you get stronger position in performance, right? When you don't do well, you give them a playing test. Let those kids make an F. They don't want that F no more. They work harder, they get better scores, you get stronger in performance. Program growth, it helps grow your program. It gets more competitive. The kids are hungry, they want more, right? And you get performance opportunities. When you get all these first place trophies, one of my favorite programs, and I hate them in the same mind frame, is PA Memorial. Hey man, I love competing against those guys. They are an exceptional group. Love it. And then are they performing, I'm getting mad. But you can't argue with the results. Why? Because they're winning. And when you can show I won here, then all of a sudden doors start opening up to you. Come on in. Right? And more importantly, and I'm talking this, I'm going to take a moment. I'm not going to be a band director. I never want to be one. I take my hat to all of y'all because y'all love them. Scholarships, guys. The more your kids compete, the more they get comfortable, the more they feel at home competing, the more they can fight for these scholarships. You know, if I've had a kid audition before, kid know all the scales, all of them. This is before when I was younger teacher. Knew all the scales, the sight reading, everything. And I'm excited. Can't wait till they go audition. And he auditioned, crashed, and burned. Why? Because he got nervous. That environment freaked him out. You see what I'm saying? And I'm telling the band director, he can play. I'm telling you, he can play. Well, let him come back and see me. And while the kid's saving their horn, I'm talking with the band director. He just started running up and down the horn, just because he just playing. Because now that the pressure off, band director come out and say, what the hell was this? 10 minutes ago. And I'm like, I told you, but he got nervous. Why? Because he wasn't used to competing, because I wasn't pushing competition like that. Okay? So it helped the scholarship, right? Alright, next thing. And feel free to stop me if y'all want to, discuss anything. I'm just gonna kind of go through it. I know y'all getting hungry, I'm getting hungry. So. Alright, here we go. Phases of competition. Yin and yang, one of my favorite things that you look at, because at the end of the day, there are always two sides to everything. One part, two different sides, but I like this one because once again, it's still sticking to the whole concept that it's two in the same. You got the tree, right? Yeah, you see the top and that's beautiful and that's important, but there's also the roots and you gotta take care of both aspects. You can't take care of one without the other, because if you take care of the top part and don't take care of your ground and your roots, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna fall apart. And if you take care of this right here, you can have a good stub for a long time, but you ain't got nothing beautiful to see. Alright, so our house and then worldwide, where I'm going next, right? So our house, here's what you can do in your programs. And some of us already do this stuff. Chair placement. First chair, second chair, third chair, fourth chair. Placements. Now, I'm talking, I'm not gonna so hopefully I don't go over anybody's heads. I'm not talking about first trumpet, second trumpet, third trumpet on parts. Because I learned from Mr. Nightingale, rest his soul, some of your better trombone players, the symphonic band play third trombone. I'm talking about chair placement. I'm the first chair trombone player. I just play third trombone. Does that make sense? So chair placement. Who is your top trumpet player? Not what they play in the band. Who is your top trumpet player? Right? Solo and ensemble. You can do that at your school. Yes, host your own solo and ensemble festival. You can go to Louisiana people or anybody actually. Go to LMEA. There's a solo and ensemble form. Take it, copy it, put your school logo on the top. Hold your own festival. Call in these university guys. Call in your fellow band director friends to come in and be your judges. Let the kids do solo and ensemble at your own school. We held it this year. It was the best thing ever. And it showed responsibility because all my kids got a little card. I stole it. I didn't come up with this. I stole it from a little band director. He gave all the kids a little performance card, a warm-up time and an actual playing time. And I gave it to my kids. Don't ask me for it again. I'm not giving it to you again, right? The kids had to go to their teachers and say, how you doing, Mr. Russell? My warm-up time is at 10:30. It's my pass right here, and I'm gonna give another pass when I come back to class. And they give it to the teacher. So now the teacher, they're not disturbing class. All they gotta do is raise their hand with their card. Teacher, go ahead. They came out, they warmed up. After they warmed up, they performed. Ironically, this year, the assistant superintendent of schools was walking around the school that day. We shut down one of the classrooms in the gym, and the kids were warming up, and they were confused why they heard instruments in the gym and something else going on in the band room. And oh, we got a festival going on, you know? Then I got some of my former students who were music majors. They came out and they worked the festival. Gave them opportunities. Field placements. You leaving the step 2? No, you gotta have the right person leaving that step 2. Make them audition for that. Make them try out for that. Make them compete for that spot. Right? All I want to do is make them stronger marches. I need my 4 best trombone players in the front. Oh, that's me. Let me see what you got. That's gonna help you out. Ensemble placement. Now, I know that everybody has different size bands and different things like that, but you want to have a different ensemble in your program. Even if you got one concert band, cool. Everybody can't play in the concert band. We're gonna do other stuff with y'all, but you get in the concert band. Well, I want to be in the concert band. Cool. Audition. You don't have to make it hard. It doesn't have to be anything complicated, guys. It can be something simple, but you still want them preparing on their own and actually competing for that spot, right? Next one. This is bigger, and this goes into the worldwide aspect, right? Honor band. Not just your district, because let's call it what it is. In some areas, there's a lot of politics involved in honor band. There's a national honor band you can audition for. There's some other things that you can audition for as well. Beyond your music, state, all state bands, things like that. You can audition for solo and ensemble. You can do a regional thing. Some states already have solo and ensemble. You can have the kids do that. Marching contest, $9 a band. Y'all don't mind, I'll come back to that. All right, concert festival. Bring them to concert band festivals, right? Well, there's no concert band festival in my district. There's no district concert band festival. Yeah, but I'm sure there's a pre-festival somewhere. A lot of these universities have concert band festival, pre-assessment and stuff like that. Bring them there. Parade competitions. Now this is the one that everybody don't like to talk about because it's not the traditional competition. Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm speaking honestly right now and true. I'm scared of parade competitions. If I can avoid them, I'm gonna avoid them. You know why? There's a lot that goes into it. I saw one parade practice long time ago. Freaked me out. I said I'm good. It's not happening. Because the stuff that goes into it, to make sure your lines are straight, to make sure this is right, to make sure this kid is right here, to make sure that's there, and you're gonna pass this station, and everything has to be perfect. And I know it sounds like it's simple for some of us who do it on a consistent basis, but for me, I'm a concert guy that's out of my element. You follow what I'm saying? But I know I need to get myself into it because all that's gonna do is help my band's presence when we do parades. You see? You don't compete in the parade, and guess what you do? You're just doing it just to do it. And it doesn't really matter how your band looks. Okay? Now, if I can go back to marching contest, not Battle of the Bands. We live and die by the name Battle of the Bands. Battle of the Bands. Battle of the Bands. I'm I'm gonna say this because I have a very strong core style background from where I grew up in, where my area is and everything across the board. When they say Battle of the Bands, they hear Battle of the Bands. They think all it's about entertainment, dancing. No, dude, you gotta march. Oh, y'all do field shows too? That's what we're judged on. Most judges, and if you've ever judged a Battle of the Bands, raise your hand, please. Normally, and correct me if I'm wrong, normally, when they get to the dance routine, you start writing now. Because now, they ain't got nothing to do with what you did up. Oh, showtime. All right, cool. Look, guys, you know what I'm saying? Why? Because that aspect is now over. You see? I'm not saying don't ever call it a Battle of Bands. What I'm saying is, let's make sure that we're telling everyone the full story. How they say that? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. It's a marching competition. Yeah, we call it the Battle of the Bands, but it's a marching competition. And we need not lose that element because that's very, very important. Especially when we start talking about competition. So when they talk about going to Dutchtown High School marching competition, cool. I'm going to Scotlandville. They got a marching competition. Oh yes. I thought the Battle of the Bands. It is. It's a marching competition. They just call it the Battle of the Bands. It's a marching competition. Right? And it helps with the language. Okay? Alright. Next part. What's being assessed? A lot of times we get confused about what's going on and it's the language and all of that kind of stuff right there. And the reason why I chose this little picture right there is because sometimes when you're looking at your score sheets and all that kind of stuff, that's pretty much about how you look. You can tell what they wrote, and sometimes what they're saying, you have no idea what they're talking about. Okay? So, I'm gonna kind of go into it right now, which is this. Tone quality. That's the number one thing that everybody talks about. Tone, 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 tone. Right? Technique, the way you're supposed to play. Style, which is huge. Style is huge. Stylistically, what are we doing with the music? You know? Articulation. How did you articulate this part? Is it tongue too, slur too? Is it a marcato accent? Is it a staccato accent? Is it a rooftop accent? Right? What are we doing with articulation? And then other factors. Before I get into the other factors, I want to say this right now. I know we're going live and everything, so I hope that some people who do these bigger competitions and festivals and all that kind of stuff hear me. I don't believe that not one of these things here are more important than the other. I know for a fact that I spoke to 10 different directors who judge concert festival, and I'm going concert band right now. If your tone quality is not the best with your program, you will not get no higher than a 2. It don't matter what you do. That is one subcategory. I know that because I competed in concert band festival, and the guy told me in every other category, tone, band plays okay. It's a C, right? Now, I got beginners, man. I'm not, I shouldn't have beginners, right? We shouldn't have beginners in language, but I have them, right? Okay, cool. Give me a C in tone. I knew they're coming in. Technique, ready? We'll get better when tone improves. Right? Style, we'll get better when tone improves. Articulation, we'll get, hold on, wait a minute. If I'm articulating correctly, right, I just don't have the best tone quality, but you can clearly hear that I am slurring everything across the board. Am I right? Then how you gonna take up because my tone ain't right? You judge that here. It's time to move on. Am I making sense? And unfortunately, and don't get me wrong, I use the example. It can sound phenomenal, right? Beautiful tone quality. But they don't say tone quality A, technique, good job, because tone is great. Style, sound good, good job, because you know they don't give you that. Am I making sense? So those are the things that's important. Other factors, this is huge. When a group of, and this may sound racial and I do apologize, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. When a group of Asian kids walk on a concert band stage sitting out, everybody like, uh-oh, it's about to be good, Lord. Because you saw something that made you think a certain kind of way. So when they see a group of black kids come on, sagging pants a little bit, instead of having on dress shoes, we got on Air Force Ones, and you walk on stage, uh-oh, not to come out those horns. So other factors is huge. We have to teach them how to come off the bus, how to sit in the auditorium, how to go to the warm-up room, how to set up, how to do those things. How should you sit? How should you prepare yourself? How should you play? How should you perform? How should you look before the director even gives a downbeat? Because it makes a difference. Okay? Next one. I was blessed enough this year to get Teacher of the Year for my school system. That freaked me out. It blew my mind. I was actually told that the moment I walked out of my interview, that the panel said he won. Like before I got to my car, they already knew that I won it. Because the one question that they asked me was about how do you get your kids to go to the next level on certain things academically. And I said, you gotta teach them how to set personal goals. Realistic goals. Like Mr. Russell said earlier, about playing your different notes and all of that kind of stuff right there. I need you to get this. So set yourself a goal. By Friday, what will you play? You know? And then when they achieve the goal, you get 2 claps. What's next? Right? That's it. You got 2 claps. What's next? Because it's time to move on to the next thing, right? Once again, it grows your program, right? It helps your program grow, it helps it intensify. Student maturation, guys. We have to get our kids to be mature, okay? We have to get them to be mature. I know y'all get this a lot of time when you ask a question. They don't know how to answer the question. Where were you, son? Why'd you miss practice? I'm just asking you a question. Why'd you miss practice? There you go. I just wanted to know where you were to. What is it? But when you start competing, and now you start being accountable for your action and what you do, now when I ask you, why weren't you in practice? I apologize, Mr. Al. I couldn't be there. My mom had texted my phone during school and asked me to come home. I'm going to say, all right, cool. But you know you owe me, right? Yes, sir. Cool. And we move on from the conversation. It helps them mature. And it's model professionalism. I apologize in advance. We all know that we don't live in a perfect world. We do know that there are some judges, some band directors, and some people that we just outright can't stand. You don't like me, I don't like you neither. You don't like my program, guess what? I ain't finding your program either. But in public, I can walk up to you and shake your hand. How you doing? Yes, sir, how you doing? You know, good luck to y'all, good luck to y'all. And the kids will be like, but they don't like each other. They don't care for our band. They always talking trash about our band. But it's about being professional. And when we can model that for the kids, now they can see. Because a lot of times, we know this, but a lot of times, the kids are watching you, and they're waiting for what you're going to do so they can know how to react the next time to somebody else. They're watching you. So when all that being said, man, we smash y'all, man, we smash y'all. And then everybody to the bus. And then the band director's leaving, and it's like, oh man. The band director walk by, good job, bro, appreciate it, man. Then it's like, I thought they were just saying they smashed. Why y'all shaking hands? Because we still professionals. Does that make sense? And when we do that kind of stuff, but you can only do that in competition, I'm being honest. You only can do that in competition, right? Alright, so my next part here is the end of the world, right? So now we're coming towards the conclusion part. And this kind of sums up where I am right now, going into everything. There's 3 different sides of where I'm going with this here. And the first thing is huge. Teamwork makes the dream work. Iron sharpens iron. We say that a lot. But here's the problem. We don't always remember it at the right times. I was talking to a few guys, and I remember going to a battle of the bands, getting ready to go on the field, and I'm ready for war. And one of my kids walked up to me with a baritone, bro. I don't know. So then I had to walk over to another, and I'm like, I want to kill him. Like I really want, like I'm not pretending. I really want to kill him right there. But we about to hit the field, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? And so I look over to my side, and I see one of the bands that I'm actually finna go against a couple of bands later. And I go to the band director, see if you know my look right there. Kids broke the baritone. Come here, kid. Hey, give me that baritone. And the kid's like, huh? Model professionalism. Get that baritone. Hey, you better not not do it to my horn. And the band director is pointing at my kid. You better not do it to my horn. The kid looking at me like, and I'm looking at them like, you better not do my man's horn. She want me to sing, right? And as soon as we get on the field, you better come up here and give it to him. And the band director was like, man, thank you. And when I gave him the horn, we performed. We got on the field, gave it back to the band director. Band director said, I should have gave that guy. Because we beat him. And I'm saying it because I didn't even know this guy that well. I see him go PEs and stuff like that, right? But at the end of the day, we all are here for who? For the kids. And the kid broke his arm. To this day, I still don't know how your whole lead pipe come off the horn, and I got it from the shop 2 days before. I'm confused. I stopped trying to figure it, right? And I'm saying it because no matter where we are, guys, whether it's at a battle band, different workshop, convention, a parade, or whatever, we got to remember that we all on the same team. All of us. And we never forget each other. The next part, man. So, I am helping out this year, not just with the football team on certain levels. And when we were getting some stuff together for the spring, I'm in there and they're like, yeah, man, now it's time to get back to work. And it hit me, I'm like, oh crap, they about to get started. Let the work begin. We never ended. When did y'all end? Because clearly y'all just got out of school and y'all over here. And that's why I put this picture right here. Because this was a picture from last year over here at this same workshop. There's 2 quotes that I do a lot in my program, and one of them is personal, other one is to the kids. 1, you were given this life because you are strong enough to live. I know our ideal situation or not what we're teaching in the trenches, right? But I take comfort in knowing that God placed me in this place, in this position, because I can actually do the job. See, some people can't do it. Some people, if it's not the perfect utopia, they'll be out the door. And I've heard some presenters say to people, I ain't got no feeder. How do I get a 10th grader who wants to be in band and really want to be in band? Mine went by him a brand new Yamaha trumpet, custom Z. And the presenter said, you might want to go to another school. I didn't ask you if I wanted to go to another school. I asked you how to get this kid playing. Well, I can't help it, right? But you're strong enough to do it, and that's why you're here. So never forget that, Chuck. Also, this sits in my bedroom right now, and I say this all the time, because I tell the kids on a regular basis. In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. When I put this in my bedroom, this was shortly after the Bill Cosby scandal came out. I put it on my bedroom. People in the school board was coming in, doing check and repair, and they saw that, and I was called in. And they told me, why would you put a quote up by him with all the stuff that's going on? I'm like, because it's a serious quote. It's for real. For those of y'all who went to Southern University, and I have to use my Southern University references, there's a blue couch outside our grave. There was some guy that wanted to get back in the bed. They spent days sitting on that couch, and Dr. walked and walked right past him. And walked right past him. And walked right past him. Your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure, right? You cannot be afraid to lose. You cannot be afraid to look stupid. I want to get back in the bed. Mr. Simmons, look, I really want to. No, son, get out of my face. Mr. Simmons, I know I came by yesterday. No, son, get out of my face. Mr. Simmons, I know I came by for the last 2 weeks. I really want to be in the band. Eventually, Mr. Simmons will say, this boy lost his mind. He ain't getting back. But if I keep on going, he gonna say, come on, son. One day, you miss one practice, you out of here. You hear me? But I can't be afraid to be embarrassed for the next 2-3 weeks in order to get what I'm trying to get. So when you go to these competitions and you take these L's that you don't want to take, because more important, and I forgot this part, I do apologize. I'm talking about actual competition, when we're actually getting assessed, not going for comments. So when you go for comments, they're gonna put some comments on the paper, but they're not gonna tell you the truth. They're not gonna hammer you like you should, because you're not actually getting scored. Does that make sense? There's no actual letter grade or placement you can get, right? But you cannot be afraid because you want to be successful. And at the end of the day, whether I win or lose, I got short-term memory. We won, woo, on the bus, good, shut up. We got film to go watch. Because something didn't go right. Last thing, man, I just want to say thank y'all very much. We can kind of discuss some things. I'm open for any questions, but this is my contact information. If you know me, one of the things that I actually have a problem with, I've been teaching for 14 years now. I have a lot of success. I hate my bio. I didn't write my bio. I think it's the stupidest thing ever because I don't like tooting my own horn, if you will. But I've been through a lot and I've learned a lot and I've experienced a lot. Now that's one thing that me personally I'm trying to grow as, because I'm trying to actually be okay with the accolades that I'm actually getting. Okay? But if I can do anything for you all, man, if y'all have any questions for me, please don't hesitate. If I can help you in any kind of way, my doors are always open and everything, man. If anybody have any questions or comments, anything else, I know I kind of went through it, but yes.
How many of these competitions would you recommend fighting followers?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a personal preference. They got some guys, they're road warriors. Every weekend, competition, right? But that depends on your personal division. My recommendation is, I try to do at least 2 marching competitions, at least 2 concert competitions. That way, you can go to one, and everyone say 2 is because at least you can go to one, get your comments, then after you get your comments, work on it, and then go back and see if you made improvements. Same thing with concert band. You shouldn't just go to district, perform at district concert band festival, and then you finish. Go to a pre-assessment where you're getting scored. Get the comments, go back and work. So that way you have something to go off of from a part A to a part B. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a before and after type of effect right there. Same thing with concert with solo and ensemble. You could do one in the fall, and you could do one in the spring. Like mine I did in the fall this year. I did it around this time for the Cripples concert, right? Because I had other stuff going on. So what I did was the top soloist and the top ensemble instrument and did with the choir and band, they performed on the Cripples concert. As one less triple song I had to prepare. You know what I'm saying? But it also let the parents come because they don't know which child is performing until you get to the concert. So it helped pack the house. Yes.
How do you address the situation with marching competition? Not battle of band.
Right.
You understand it's the same thing. When you have a situation where I can't afford to go to Lafayette, go to Lake Charles, and go to Baton Rouge to
G.I.F.T.S.
G.I.F.T.S. and say like the band and they have some notoriety, right?
Yeah.
And I know if the name is on the back,
Right.
the ticket, then there's going to be at least 400, 500, 600 more people to come at 10 hours heads. It's $5,000, $6,000. I mean, do you? Let's say if you have a band that comes to your competition, do you at least take care of the buses?
If we can. Like for me, we make a little bit of money on our battle of the bands, but for me, what I try to look at is if we get the band programs here, we can get them there, then what can I do? Now, I might not be able to pay for your travel, but what I can do is I can make sure you're fed when you get here and fed when you leave, and if you have to stay overnight, I can get you some really, really good hotel rates. You see what I'm saying? But I may not be able to pay for all of your transportation, but let's say you're coming from New Orleans. I might not be able to give you the full ride for your travel, but maybe I can throw you $300, $400, $500 to try to help towards it. So that way your ticket might not be as big. You know? But for those that can't travel,
you're still going to acquire a ticket.
Right.
I'm still going to have to take money out of their account.
Right, absolutely.
To come. So I'm saying if a band was to come to your competition and they're going to bring 500 extra people because there's a certain battle that's going or a competition that's going to happen, and that's 500 times that's $5,000,
Wow.
and the transportation is only $2,000.
Well, I'm gonna say this. If in that case right there, I'm talking for me personally, if that's the case, and I know I get this band coming, and I know for sure this name being on the ticket is gonna bring those people or whatever, I'm gonna absolutely take care.
Can I intervene, sir? So if you can bring 500 people to my battle band, I will pay for your buses. $20.
You got it.
God said, go around and pack the dog, the one that get go high.
But I have personally experienced this. where if a band is coming, they've given tickets to the band that's coming. You sell those tickets to who? You know what I'm saying? If your fan base is coming, you know what I'm saying? Right? Then you can sell it to your fan base. And then all the money that you sold from your fan base, right? From your direct fan base, then you should get that money in. You see what I'm saying? And I've even seen some guys who've done this to where they can't go to a competition, but they have football games, which to me is more competitive sometimes because you got this band this week, that band next week, and you're going back and forth. So they've got some guys to come in and let's settle on the field. We're gonna get 2 guys to come in, we're gonna judge it at this game. Now we got comments to go off of. It's just about being creative about doing it. But sometimes marching competition is not necessarily the way for some people because it depends on your program. You know, sometimes you can't do marching competition because of the way things work out. But I can do concert, I can do solo and ensemble, I can do something to have my kids. Yes.
So question, how do you keep them successful in your line of work when you have, let's say in the spring session, you have a parade back to back with a jazz festival, back to back with a concert band festival, and solo ensemble right behind?
Okay, so I've gotten into the biggest argument with a couple of band members in my local area about that. Music is music. Playing is playing. So no matter what, don't tell me that marching band mess you, I'm gonna cheer up and let it no coming. Because all I tell my kids, we actually had concert band festivals literally 3 days after Mardi Gras. Now I had extra practices in between, and I was very limited on the music I played in the parade, right? Because I wanted to save, you know, the kids' chops, not from messing the amateur stuff, but more so doing that, right? So you have to be real creative, and sometimes you have to pick and choose your battles. You know, sometimes, yes, I can do the parade, and the concert festival, and the jazz competition, right? But if this kid right here has a jazz competition this weekend at these 4 or 5 kids, then guess what? You 4 or 5 kids, y'all have to do the parade. Why? Because I need to save your chop, because I need you more so for here and there, and trying to find ways to be creative. Sometimes it's about just being creative in what you're doing. You know, making sure that the kids are actually maximizing their full potential. You see? But once again, we talk about percussions, you know. Sometimes some parades, if we got a concert festival and then a jazz festival and all that kind of stuff, I don't want to burn the kids out. So I need to know, instead of doing 1 song with 2 kids, let me get 1 song with 3 kids. You know, just to stretch it out, playing, you see? But it's scheduled. You have to make sure there's time in between to actually rehearse, to get the minds in, you know? Just to get them, like I said, just to get them focused. So like, I need an example, with concert band festival. We had symphonic band practice the morning of Mardi Gras parade. After the Mardi Gras parade, we didn't have any practice. The next day, the next morning, we had practice. Only to get them back, you know, real. We didn't stay long, we just sight read some stuff, turned on the tune, but just getting them back playing, and it's a philosophy thing. In my program, when I try to preach to the kids this here, you gotta be ready to go. State playoff basketball game, yep. Concert band festival the next day, yep. Mardi Gras parade the next day, cool. We gotta turn this switch on, that switch on, that switch on, and then go back to the beginning. Yes, sir.
One thing we did in our area, y'all want to probably start thinking about for y'all areas, we actually got our state association to pay for the show style marching bands, high school bands, to have a fully adjudicated marching festival. And they actually pay for the commission to come in and we choose. Retired band director Dr. Lucas Deals come in and done it for quite a few years, because it's enough of us in our areas where we can actually run the associations. So it's one thing y'all can probably start doing.
When y'all do that, do y'all split the proceeds, or how does that work?
All the proceeds come to us.
Actually, in my area, around the Lafayette area, there's a lot of bands. We do our district marching festival during the day. And if all the traditional style marching bands in my district would go to festival, they would have no choice but to have another day, because there's about 10 of us. We're already going till 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I'll be the only one going. So I mean, that actually is a real thing, because if we can have enough bands signed up for it, they have to give us another day. And if LMEA is paying for it, LMEA gotta pay for it.
All you gotta do is show up. If enough of y'all show up.
If enough people go, they have to, because
they gotta do it.
If I can real quick, it's just like with adjudicators for competitions. If enough of us go to the meetings, when they judge, their votes are gonna be split. But if it's 10, 12 of us in one meeting, and we say, who will be the adjudicator? Mr. Little, They got 10 of y'all over there, 10, and then all 15 of us. But little, guess what? He on the panel. But if all 15 don't go to the meeting, can't go to the meeting. Yes.
Eric Online asks, would you consider bringing in other seasoned directors as a better alternative to going to pre-fest for those who don't have the budget to attend a pre-fest or additional competition?
Absolutely. Actually, what I've done is I've gone live, which is a new thing, but I've gone live and say, drop the comments. And then the next day, y'all got hammered. Well, not y'all, we got hammered, right? And I've also had guys come in. The more adjudicators you can get to come in and work your band, the better it is, because after so much time, everything starts sounding either bad or good.
Yeah.
So bring them in, let them come in, let them assess your program, let them go. But for me, this is my recommendation. When I get somebody to come in and they assess my band and kind of check my band, give me a score, give me something. So that way I can tell the kids, based upon what he said, we got a 3. Not just, oh, work on this, work on it. No. We're not doing well. So that's a great alternative. And that's something that definitely could go in as well.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Are they the local parish bands? I know the All-Star Band and the Cranford Band. Are they the parish bands?
We have honor band, all parish band, yes.